ridiculous.
For a pro player,
Absolutely ridiculous.
yeah. But,
Oh, I didn't change this one yet.
It's cathartic as well, like, as a amateur player looking at pros making those kinds of mistakes, makes you feel a little bit better as an amateur player, I guess.
Yeah.
Amateur player.
There it is. There it be. Okay. Oh. Oh, I hate it when you just can't click the right layer. Ah, there we go. Jesus.
Oh, I hope you don't mind me like putting in my stream in like your Discord's chat. Oh, Sam, hope you don't mind me putting my stream in your Discord's chat.
Yeah, no worries.
Just if everyone happens to be around, they can like come check it out a little bit.
Maybe can I give you
What?
Maybe I can give you the ability to put it in new videos or streams.
Yeah.
Because I have like an announcements channel.
Yeah, you could probably do that somehow.
Can you post it in there? No, I don't think you can.
I don't think so. No, I'd need like some kind of role or something that enabled me to do it. I think. I don't know.
I'm still confused by Discord. I haven't taken the time to really like figure out how to be a Discord mod.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
Okay, here we go. Let me add a role.
Yeah. Have like a co-caster role or whatever you want to call it or something, I don't know.
Sure. You can join my I do have a role. It's called Kami role.
Oh, Kami.
I have one friend, yeah, who's in the role.
KAMI from
So I will Kami, yeah, Kami it means God.
Yeah,
and I'll give you God role here. Let me see. Then you can manage the channels and everything. I have one guy in there, but he hasn't been active recently, so my Discord's pretty jank, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We have some chatters in there, but not nearly as active as I'd like it to be.
Wait. Why is there only we only have six lineups? 6 sets. Huh? Am I tripping? What's going on here?
Hmm?
This is normal, right?
Like this. What are you looking at right now?
Oh,
Can you see today's matchup?
yeah. But wait, but it's not best versus like that, right? It is. It's not. What?
No, what? Why did I
You're
put
so
light?
I'm so confused. Yeah. We already had this one last week.
It should be queen. It should be queen.
You had it right.
Snow versus queen.
You had it right on the other screen.
I typed the wrong I typed the wrong, what's it called? Team leaders. Fuck. I did this last night.
Okay.
Oh, son of a bitch. I did all the wrong names. Fuck me. No way. Wait. Did I just click the wrong?
This is
Maybe
the
I
wrong
clicked
one.
the wrong.
The wrong one. This is
There it is. Okay. I
You did it right. You just had the wrong one pulled up.
Yeah. Okay. Whew. Scared myself for a second there.
It's all
God
good.
damn.
This is better now. My mind is now clear.
Okay, we're good.
All right. So it's nice that we got Tosca and Zealot.
Yeah.
Queen, obviously. Stork, obviously. Snow, obviously.
I mean, Team Queen just looks so deadly. Good God.
Yeah, Barracks is pretty tight as well. Like, he's not bad at all.
Yeah, Barracks is really, really good, but
I guess YSC's not the strongest of Protosses, but he's still pretty good.
Fuck, he beat Bisu.
Yeah, he's pretty
in
fucking
the last
good.
round.
He's been pretty fucking stellar recently. And we got to give him some more props. Like, he hasn't been the most consistent of Protosses we've had, but he's been pretty fucking good lately.
Yeah.
What do you think about JB versus BS2 though? I'm not sure how I feel about that.
ZVZ. Oh, it's anybody's guess, man. I've never seen the lower tier ladies play ZVZ. I have no idea what we're gonna look at, but anyone can macro in ZVZ, so it's just gonna come down to decision making.
Well, in micro, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I really want to see. Obviously, we've got. I think Queen versus Stork's gonna be amazing. I think. Do you think that Queen's team is just a little bit stacked looking at this lineup? Like, do you think like they're gonna smash it, or do you think like there's a chance for it to snow?
Well, Zealot has been really inconsistent.
Mm-hmm. But he's got ZVZ anyway.
I think Gamo probably should be able to overcome him. Motive versus Barracks on Luck Company. That's a toss-up as well. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Motive is a really reasonable Protoss player. We've seen him do some great things in ladder matches, and
he's been
hasn't performed the best in KCM, but he has some potential. And yeah, I mean, Toss Girl, I imagine she's going to take the win. I imagine Queen wins the Stork match, but still, it's not a guarantee.
No. Snow's so good at PvP that I feel like he should dismantle YSC, although YSC, like you say, did beat Bisu, so who knows, anything could happen. But yeah, I think I'd like to see how that goes as well. Like, even as a PvP, actually kind of interested to see how that will go.
It's interesting we keep getting PvP on Apocalypse.
Yeah, man. It's like the ruins of Ire or some shit.
Yeah, it's the one map with the flat ground natural, right? It's like you don't have a ramp. So it's just so good for 3-gate. And like every time it's been 3-gate. Like last week it was 3-gate as well. 3-gate Goon. Who was it? Best lost to who was it? Ruin, I think.
Yeah.
Best lost to Ruin because of 3-gate Goon. It's like, man, that build's really good. on that map. It's just really strong. That's Bisu lost to YSC from 3 Gate Goon as well. I wonder if we're gonna see Snow do a DT play, because it just kills you. It's literally just it's an instant win against 3 Gate Goon. There's nothing you can do. You just lose.
Yeah.
So, I mean, eventually someone's got to pull it out, right? YSC and can't just keep getting away with it. All right. Okay, quick pee and then let's start, all right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty then. We ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the KCM. It's time for day 13 of this tournament with Team Snow versus Team Queen. We've got Shun in the booth, so let's take a look at our lineups. What's sticking out to you, Shun, here in the first 6 sets?
We've kind of spoiled for choice here. We've got Queen versus Stork. That's going to be epic. Snow versus YSC will actually be more exciting than usual since YSC has been playing so amazing. Like, even recently been taking down Bisu. Tosco versus Bohai. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? I always want to see Tosco been playing. Zelot versus Gamo would be interesting for me. I like Zelot personally, but he hasn't been performing too well, so I want to see how he does against Gamo as well. And Barak versus Motive is a kind of a toss-up game as well. Both players very, 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 very capable.
Yeah, Barracks and both Barracks and Motive are on my radar right now. I've been watching them a lot and really enjoying their games, so this is going to be a little treat for me here, set number 6. And yeah, we've got Stork versus Queen as well. I favor Queen in that matchup, but it should be fun to watch them play on Tempest. I think that Queen will be bringing the swarm with that big macro map, able to take a bunch of bases and just overwhelm Stork. That's going to be fun. And yeah, YSC, I mean, he's been getting away with a lot of 3-gate play on Apocalypse, as most PvP has been going that way. We'll see if Snow brings out some DTs to punish him. This is going to be a great week of StarCraft, guys. Strap in, put your seatbelts on, grab yourself a cup of coffee or a drink, and let's get in to game number 1. All right.
Nice.
You ready?
Yeah, check that recording back if you can to make. Did we do a sound check already, or did you not?
No, I didn't. So let's check it.
Yeah. And then put the team plate names up while we were chilling as well.
Sure. Oops, that one.
There you go. I think you forgot to do that last time, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you forgot
I think
the team.
so too.
Yeah, you forgot the team plates. I remember watching it and looking at it and being like, "Oh, you forgot the plates." Sure. It's one thing I need to be here to help you remember.
Yeah, there's a lot of fitting plates in this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You
Podcast
need
now.
you need my second eyes to help you make sure all the plates are spinning.
All right.
Whoa, look at the synchronicity right now. Look at the minerals, the supply, and then the APM.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? I like that.
That's nice. This first return was perfect for both players. That's good.
Yeah.
That's nice. All right. Who is this again? This is JB versus BS2.
Yeah,
That's
BS2.
it.
It was a weird name.
Yeah, that's a strange one. Okay. Ready? Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, our first game of the night. A little warm up here with BS2 versus JB. Should be a quick game of ZVZ, although ZVZs have gotten longer and longer as time has gone on. Still at the lower levels, it's very much a knife, two monkeys, two apes with a knife in a phone booth sort of matchup.
Yeah, it's definitely the apt analogy that you do hear online a lot about this matchup. I like to think of the PvP as being a little bit like that, because I feel like it's unfair that the Zergs are the ones that are being described as monkeys in phone booths, okay? Like, the Protoss are the apes at the end of the day. It's just that Zergs, kind of more sophisticated, evolved apes, they can kind of wield, more weaponry, maybe put, some chainmail armor, we're kind of like chainmail apes in a way.
I like to think of PvP as more of a poker game, because Protoss players are just gambling.
Yeah.
Just always gambling. Oh, look at this.
Nice.
Hatchery on 12 in main. Very interesting build here from BS2.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's both going to give him a nice little economic boon, but also very safe as well. I kind of like this play. I think we're going to see a lot more of this style as well in the future. I think it's kind of evolving with the meta a little bit. It's a lot safer than just throwing that down in your natural and just being an auto loss against a lot of openings. So yeah, this is I think a great option here for Team Snow going forward, and that's going to be a nice little interesting way of BS2 approaching this game.
Yeah, and it's going to take some time to scout this player, because you're going to have to send lings in every direction. Looks like she's going to send the majority of her lings up to the top right, and we're cross maps, so she's going to have enough time to get... Oh my gosh, she's going to throw down a natural as well? The 3 hatch build versus 9 pool. I think BS2 loses in this situation, don't you think? She's going to have to cancel that hatchery at least.
But yeah, the hatchery will buy time if JB decides to target it. I think JB may even just ignore the hatchery and just go straight into the main, even just to try and counter the ling timing, to try and get some snipe on some drones possibly, or at least kind of confirm exactly what's going on. Okay, now maybe not. Maybe now that the ling has come in early, now we'll probably just try and target this hatchery down.
This is looking actually really good for BS2. She's going to have a ton of links popping out. They're going to be coming a lot faster. If she could save this... Oh, she canceled. Oh, that's a little bit funny. She got there in time, but she still decided to cancel. She's going to go up the ramp. There's quite a few links here, but this is not going to be a ling advantage for long for JB. Eventually, there's going to be enough lings here for BS2 to fight back. More are popping out here as we speak. Gotta go into the mineral line and fight with the drones here. Oh, Link speed finishes. She's going to pick off of quite a few drones here. 2 drones go down. A third going to be targeted. A fourth going to be targeted as well. And yeah, build order win here for JB. All of the drones are dead. The Sunken Colony's not going to finish. GG. She taps out a very quick CVZ to start us off here. Ouch.
Ouch. I'm a little bit disappointed actually because like I thought the whole purpose of her 12 hatching in the main was going to be to negate like dying to 9 pool, but she went for a play that would be dead to 9 pool either way, so I don't know.
Yeah, that was weird. That was a bit weird.
It's super greedy because she's trying to get like an easy win by getting like 3 hatch. You can from that play you can either do like 3 hatch Ling Flood and just like overwhelm them, or you can either go into Hydra play as well. You can go like do Hydras from that style as well. Or you could link into Hydras kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, she did basically the most greedy play, right? She didn't even save Larva for Lings, because if she had saved Larva there, you know, and not built all drones, then she would have had 3 Larva waiting when the spawning pool finished, and then she would have had the hatch in main with a Larva as well. So she should have had 8 Lings ready to pop. So she would have had 8 Lings, and you know, right at the start of that attack, then she would have had another 4 Lings as soon as the next Larva popped. So she would have had 12 Lings to fight that off.
Yeah, she would have had enough tempo, but she chose to be super greedy. I guess she was just basically saying like, if it's 9 pool, I'm dead. If it's not, I win. You know, she's like flipping a coin.
Yeah. So there are Zerg gamblers as well. Not just Protoss.
Gamble.
All right. Well, let's go into this next game. All right. Well, BS2 is showing us in that last game that Zergs are also capable of gambling. Am I right, Shen?
Yeah, a little gamble, as Tasteless would say once upon a time. Yeah, a little bit interesting game we saw there. Basically, like assuming that if it's a 9 pool, I'm going to be dead, and if it's not a 9 pool, I'm probably going to win. So maybe not so confident in the ZVZ matchup, and kind of just like flipping the coin there and hoping for an easy win if possible, and not quite being lucky about it.
Yeah, I was looking at that build thinking, if she had actually saved Larva with the first hatchery there, and she should have been able to pop 3 sets of Lings from her main hatch, and then with the second hatch in the main to pop that 4th set to have 8 Lings immediately when the Lings of her opponent were coming in. But she was being so greedy building drones there, gets countered by the 9 pool speed, loses that game, and now we've got advantage Queen here, Team Queen, with the team leader himself coming out in game number 2 versus Stork on Tempest. It appears like Stork wants to get greedy here. He has the probe in the main, but he sees the pool. He'll have to throw down, I think, a Forge, although we're stacking up quite a bit of cash here. It looks like he wants to get a bit greedy himself and go for a Nexus first. Nope, he does throw down the Forge.
I was just about to say, Saiyan, he does this. Most Protoss players will do this. They'll just build a delayed Forge, and they'll let the minerals stack up to around about 300-ish, and then they throw down the Forge, which is about 13.5 supply. Stork, though, uncharacteristically, was not on top of his probe there and did not block the hatchery going down from Queen. So a little bit unhappy to see that he didn't block the hatchery going down there.
Well, he gets his Nexus down anyway. If you drop a pylon, that's going to delay your Nexus just slightly. Yeah, mostly you just want to try to block with your probe as much as possible. The pylon's kind of a backup plan. He's going to be able to chase this drone, though. Ooh, getting the moving shot here, lowering that drone's HP by quite a bit, but now the Lings are out. The third base should go down without too much problem, but where is Queen going to drop this? Is he going to drop it here in the front? Or will he go up to the top right? It's looking like he wants to take this forward base. How do you feel about this forward base here?
If he wants to take this forward base, and I feel like maybe he's even considering either a fake Hydra bust or an actual Hydra bust. But now Stork is not being able to block the hatchery going down, which is uncharacteristic. Stork's usually really on top of his multitasking or task switching, depending on your school of thought, and he's usually on top of those kinds of things. I'm a little bit unhappy to see him being unable to block both of those hatcheries going down so quickly. So Queen's kind of like probably dancing inside of right now. He's probably really happy that he's had this like early game, like nothing's really gone wrong for him. Everything's gone right. He has the opportunity to go 9-7-3 here if he wanted to, but he's not going to. He's just going to go straight into like a powerful, like probably Spire into 5 hatch kind of play and just like try and like outmuscle Stork by like controlling these high ground ridges and trying to use his like ZVP like prowess to overpower Stork. But Stork's no slouch. What do you think? Say anything Stork can pull out a win from this kind of positions, or do you feel like Queen's just far too superior in this matchup for him?
Well, if you're going to allow Queen to just build 2 Lings in the early game and get away with throwing down his hatcheries like that, I think you're going to be in for a world of hurt. I would have liked to see Stork drop a pylon to block that hatchery, because with only 2 Lings out, you can't actually kill the pylon faster than it builds.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a really good move. Usually you want to build 4 Lings so that you can actually kill that pylon. But Stork... and not going for that play. He's going to lose the probe as well. We've just got such a minimal number of Lings being produced here for Queen. He's going to have such a drone count here. I'm not sure if Stork can fight him in the late game when Queen hasn't been disrupted in the early mid game here.
Yeah, that's basically my assessment right now, is that Queen's kind of gone unchallenged pretty drastically in the early game phase. Like not even a pylon block on the hatchery, like you say. So yeah, I think, interestingly enough, I think this will afford Queen like a very strong chance at just completely overwhelming Stork in the mid to late game phase. And Queen's a real powerhouse in this matchup. He understands it very well. There was once a time where he was so dominant in this matchup, it seemed like he was unbeatable. Do you remember that?
Yes, for sure. He is an incredible ZVP player. I've watched quite a few of his tutorial videos in order to learn how to play this matchup. And his school of thought is really that getting into the position, getting into that comfort zone for Zerg, where you have all the drones that you need, all the hatcheries that you need to just mass produce units and overwhelm kind of a Sauron Zerg style of play. That's really his comfort area. That's the way that he likes to play. And I think he's going to be able to get into that position in this game.
Yeah, he's so strong at doing it as well. It's the kind of style that someone like Sulky would want to go for as well. But Queen's just so good at doing it. And he's so scary as well. Like you say, the Sauron Zerg style, like being brought into the modern meta, and by the likes of someone like Queen with his kind of like finesse, it's exciting to see.
Yeah, what he really wants to do here, as you can see, we are not going for any sort of Hydralisk bust, even though we have this forward hatchery. That's not going to be the case. He just wants to build up enough defenses to hold off whatever Stork's going to pull out here and go directly into a 4th base. Whether he wants to stick on layer tech or not, that's going to be an open question here. But in my experience, he really enjoys... He's a Hive enjoyer. He wants to get that 4th base out and go directly into Hive and get those Hive tech units out with lots of... Oh, great catch there. Oh, I did not expect that. That was a really nice move by Queen to pick off that one Corsair.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he actually had calculated the build time of the Sairs to know the exact trajectory of when that Corsair would be moving out to the natural expansion. But either way, an amazing interception by Queen nonetheless. Did manage to get one Scourge connection on the first Corsair in the natural expansion, but Cannon was able to ward away the second Scourge, so wasn't able to kill the first Corsair. But getting that second Corsair there is going to be able to now allow him to come in with some Mutalisk and put a little bit of pressure and force Stork to keep making these Corsairs at the very least. And he's going to be forced to make an Archon here, so he's a little bit concerned about these Mutas coming in soon. So he is aware of the threat here from Queen, and he knows that after losing that Corsair, he's going to be a little bit more vulnerable than he would like to be.
Yeah, the 5 Mutalisk play. Oh, 6 Mutalisk here. I think he probably meant to make 5. That's the standard kind of Zealot killing force here. When the Zealots are going to be moving out. Oh, great surround on the Archon, but I don't think that's going to be enough damage from these few Lings to actually pick that off. Archon is going to be able to push forward. We've got 2 sunken colonies up here, so I don't think that we can actually deal any damage right now, but he wants to use the Archon maybe to get a couple pot shots on these mutas. Oh, it's so close. He's almost going to get that shot, but great micro here from Queen. Now going to dive forward, pushing away the Corsairs with the Scourge. Really, really great micro so far from Queen. Just buying time right now is amazing because he's going to start producing Hydras here very, very soon.
Yeah, sub 100 hit points on that Archon now, so very dangerously low on health. Going to be having to retreat all the way back to the safety of that cannon in the natural expansion. Queen in a phenomenal position now, still unchallenged in his macro. Going to be powering up now on 70 supply. Going to be swinging into natural expansion, but a little bit of pressure. Not able to get any of the pros because there are 6 Corsairs still sharking around in the air, and they have 1+1 on their neutron flares, so they do a lot of damage, and they can one-shot these Scourge of Queen. So going to be a little bit more cautious now. Is Queen in full retreat in the air, now allowing Stork to come out onto the map once more with these speed lots. Going to be trying to come in to the 3rd base location. Just a single sunken and a few Hydras might be a little bit vulnerable here, Sam.
It's looking pretty easy to defend here for Queen. He did get supply blocked while doing all of that micro there with the Mutalisk and Scourge, but not going to get punished here by Stork. Stork threatening, but it's a little bit too late to, force Queen to stop producing drones. He's done producing drones. He's got plenty right now, and he's just focused completely on building up his Hydralisk count. So these is kind of fake move out, these guerrilla charges by Stork. They're not really doing anything anymore. Queen is in the position that I was talking about earlier, where he's going to be able to kind of overwhelm you with massive, massive numbers of units, and he's now moving out. Stork is with an actual threatening army, which has 3 Templar in it, but he's going to have to be very careful not to lose these 2. Some mutas. Here comes the mutas. Going to pick off one of those Templar. A second is going to go down here as well. Oh my goodness, this is brutal. Only 1 Templar with 1 Storm is left to fight this entire army of Hydras, and the Storm has been dodged.
Wow, absolutely phenomenal play from Queen here. Nice concave of Hydras as well, but it's still a substantial amount of Zealots. Stork felt for a second that he could maybe try and get some surface area to work with. Wasn't able to do so now. Meanwhile, the Hydras are following the Zealots. The Corsairs trying to get some damage done for some sort of compensation here, taking Queen into a deficit of supply, preventing him from making too many units to go for a counterattack right now. Stork is in absolute desperation, damage mitigation mode, because he needs to throw down some cannons and prevent a big, big swelling counterattack from Queen here. He is supply blocked, but he has so many Hydras out in the field, it's saying.
Yeah, and Stork wasn't making any Templar when that attack was happening, so he just now gets some Templar out, realizing the desperate situation he's in, building a ton of cannons up here on high ground, and Queen, oh my goodness, this is just Queen domination here, running up this ramp, killing all of the Zealots. We might have enough for a Storm, but once the cannons are dead, the Storm does no longer matter. He's going to run forward here, start to target down the Templar, force them onto the low ground, and what are you going to do from this position? Stork is just dead here. Throws down the Storms, not very helpful though, and more Hydras rallying across the map to finish the job. Queen taking out Stork here, magnificently done. And if he's able to kind of finesse you in the early game and mid game, then the big waves of units are not going to really matter. Having more doesn't really matter if he's able to snipe all of your Templar. He doesn't even need to go for that Sauron Zerg play. He's just going to be able to beat you straight up.
Yeah, he just didn't have the value from that army that he needed. GG finally called. Stork completely crushed by Queen. A little bit expectedly, I would say, after not being able to deal with that Muta threat and being forced to engage with just a single Storm like that. Absolute stellar stuff from Queen, showing that he can win in pretty much any phase of the game as soon as you make one small slip up.
All right. You want to grab a water or anything, or you good to go?
I'm Gucci. I'm good.
All right, let's go. Okay, Queen out finessing Stork in that last game. Not even needing the full muscle of his late game Zerg to take down his opponent. giving his lead, or his team, excuse me, a massive lead here in this battle. Team Queen up 2-0 now, while Snow, team leader, hitting the field versus YSC. This match, in my mind, still goes to Snow, but YSC has been really consistent in his PvP as of late.
Yeah, we did mention that briefly in the sort of pre-show there, that he's taken out Bisu recently. Like this guy's he's not necessarily one of the best Protosses or anything, but he certainly has been making a little bit of a name for himself lately, kind of rattling the sabers and trying to draw a little bit of attention to himself. So maybe even could take down the likes of Snow. But Snow, so powerful in PvP. Surely not the team captain himself. I can imagine this is going to be a Snow victory, Sam.
Yeah, it's exactly as you said. We've seen a couple of big upsets recently, right? We had the YSC upset over Bisu, and then we also had the upset with Ruin taking out Best recently on this map as well. So most of the PvPs we've had have been on this map, and they've basically all gone the way of a 3-gate in the early game, and that's really due to the flat ground natural here. The thing is Snow going to predict that YSC will go for that 3-gate goon pressure once again, and maybe pull out a DT play here, which is the direct counter to that build? Or is he going to go the sort of route that we've seen both Bisu and Best go, which is going for a more macro and defensive play in the early game, which can be punished by the 3-gate goon?
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to see here by either player, and Snow can be a little bit tricky when he wants to be, so he might even just like throw something that's a little bit unexpected out. He doesn't necessarily need to, though. Just by playing completely straight up, I'm sure he'll still be able to outmaneuver YSC here. So we're going to see maybe a little mana pylon action here. Snow's going for it. He knows he wants to get a little bit, maybe an extra value from getting a nice block here, but I think YSC's maybe going to have his own idea, going to try and come into the mineral line, see if he can get a mana pylon, but I don't think they'll get too much value out of it this late into the game.
I think that what you're saying is correct, that that Snow may be thinking that he can just play straight up and he should be able to win, but I feel like that's exactly the thinking that got Best and Bisu in trouble in their games of PvP, right? They're just, oh, there it is. Look at that. Oh my goodness, YSC doing it again. He's doing it again. Let's see what Snow decides to throw down here. He's got a probe in position, not at the natural. If he drops a... Oh, second gate? Is he going to go 3-gate? 3-gate as well. All right. Okay, interesting. Snow going to go for 3-gate as well. So we haven't seen this exact matchup as of yet. It's always been a early Nexus for the stronger player. Both Bisu and Best did that and ended up paying for it. Of course, there was a bit of a difference there. I think that Bisu went for a robotics facility as well, and then Best just went 3-gate after Nexus to try and hold on. But either way, you are going to be behind in those cases. Here, Snow is going to be on even footing, and I think that gives the advantage to Snow. He should be able to out-finesse YSC here, but it'll depend on these early game engagements here, who can get the early Dragoon advantage in this scenario.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a jostle for position as well, especially with the high ground peninsulas in the center in this triangular formation. It definitely will be a little bit of a game of chicken between these two players as well, because you have to be a little bit confident going up these ramps, because you could just suddenly get really punished heavily by the opposing player. So right now, YSC being very bold and coming down here, but he's assured that he has the stronger army right now, this kind of early gateway pressure. But now going to be walking to the big concave from Snow. Beautiful target fire on that first Dragoon. Takes out the second one as well in quick succession. Now 6 Dragoons to 3 advantage. Going to be rushing up the ramp as well. Going to be able to body block this Zealot from able to get into any kind of safety as well. So beautiful play from Snow here. Going to be getting such a huge lead early on, saying I don't know how YSC can possibly come back from this deficit.
Ooh, Snow's Dragoons just move so smoothly. It's crazy to me. Did you see how he ran up that ramp and just got all the Dragoons to fire? It's really gnarly the way that Snow is able to control his units, and
Very.
he got the better of that engage in a massive way there. YSC is now so far behind. He's going to sit here in his natural and wait for another rally. Of course, the rallies are going to be a huge deal. If you're a little bit closer to your gateways, you should be able to win. But Snow, again, just going to come in, gets the target fire, going to target down two goons very, very quickly. He gets the rally forward. Really great control here by Snow. He's overwhelmed him in the natural. I think this might be just it. I don't know what YSC can do from here. He's going to throw down another gateway, but we're in the main with 5 Dragoons. GG. Snow takes down YSC. Oh my goodness, that was way more one-sided than I expected.
Wow, I watched that fight with my mouth open. Amazing play from Snow. What crazy Dragoon control was that? Hey, what's up, T-Tones?
All right. Wow, we're going quick. Speed run.
My mouth was like slowly like hanging open more and more as I was watching his Dragoon control, thinking, wow, how does his brain work? Like,
I mean, that's part and parcel of these pro players. They just their units look like they're being controlled. Like, they don't look like normal units, you know what I mean? Like a Snow Dragoon does not look like a Dragoon, like a normal Dragoon.
It looks
you know
like
what I mean?
AI playing the game to like perfection, where the AI knows like how to stop the unit getting glitched out in any possible way, and it like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it just always moves perfectly, optimally. Like, oh my god. Yeah, just let's just go back here for a second to when he moved up that ramp, because like Dragoons are just so known for being the units that just don't walk up ramps easily, and it's just crazy to me how he's able to just run up this ramp here. The chase, do you know what I mean? He's just like, all right, I'm chasing you now. Look at it, all 6 of these Dragoons up the ramp at the same time and get the shots on you. Perfect pull back there, and then watch this. Right past the Zealot, look. What? How did they all run past? Like, the Zealot was even there to block. Yeah. They all ran up the ramp.
Yeah, a lot of times Dragoons will get glitched, or at least the pathing will be like the Dragoons in the way, so they kind of like go around each other and they'll start like doing all kind of crazy movements and stuff. But I guess he's got perfect understanding of the magic box. I guess all these pro players do. They have, like, to some extent, they have like the magic box effect and things like that. Like, they've got that built into them more, so they can do these like finer control. So in the moment, they can just slightly abuse the magic box for like certain situations way more reliably than we ever could.
And it makes it's impressive.
And it makes their units seem godlike, right? When you see it, because it's like, whoa, like, because they're able to abuse that the magic box and the other unit pathing stuff so much better than we could ever do.
That's just so impressive. Well, now we're going to have this match. I think this is going to be a long one, actually. So let's jump into this one. I mean, we've had so many short matches today. We gotta have at least one long game, eh?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just going to be over. All right. All right. Well, shouldn't I speed running through this KCM? It has been short game after short game leading up to this match. Where we've got Bohai versus Toss Girl here on Retro. Should be a fun match here on this Fighting Spirit clone.
Yeah, I think this is such a better map than Fighting Spirit as well. It definitely has a way better,
no question.
way better aesthetic, way better balance. I think we can't really like be thankful enough for some of the new maps we've had. Saying actually, like, there's some great additions we've had over the most recent years, and without it, I think this game would have a little bit of issues being stuck on some of those older maps. But with the likes of some good map makers out there, we do have the luxury of like fine tuning the maps over these eras, and finding this like optimal StarCraft experience. I think currently, based on the data, Sylphid being the most balanced map we have available.
Yeah, there's a ton of great maps out right now, but that's not always been the case. We've gone through periods where A lot of the maps were severely imbalanced. I think we found ourselves in a really good spot now, though, with this map and many others. Vermeer, Polypoid, even maps like Dark Origin, I think, are quite balanced, despite being a two-player map and all the balance issues that come with that. I think that's a pretty decent map. And Bohai getting in here on Retro. She's managed to find her opponent with that first probe in the first position she decided to scout. So able to get some extra damage here. This is just one of those things that Terrans have to deal with. If the probe does get lucky and spots you first, you're going to have to deal with some of this micro control here, harassment on your barracks, and the Zealot is going to be coming across the map right now. So things are lining up pretty nicely for Bohai so far.
Yeah, I'm curious if she's going to try and get any damage on this Marine as it comes out, or if she's just going to, I think, okay, she's just going to just chill. Okay, that makes sense, because she probably doesn't want to risk taking too much shield damage on this probe right now. Wants to come in with the Zealot any moment now. So here comes the probe with full HP, and the Zealot going to be putting on a lot of pressure. And with the probe as well, we'll be able to like kind of push the Marine out from these like hidey hole places that usually will protect it from the Marine. So now we're going to be trying to body block from the other side. Does get the body block on the Marine. Needs 3 hits to kill it, though. Not able to do so. 9 HP remaining on this Marine. So good target fire from Tosco. They're not allowing this kind of shenanigan play from Bohai to go unchecked, and going to be able to also keep this Marine safe from this Zealot, as not able to get the side blade connection using the SimCity perfectly. Needs to be careful that gets a good diagonal hit on this Marine, though. But beautiful SCP block going to be taking this Zealot down to just 20 hit points now, saying with some good micro. Tosco can stabilize, but having to use 3 SCVs off the line for this is a big economic deficit.
Yeah, she's having to run back and forth between these the supply depot and the barracks here. There was the plan from Bohai to get the Zealot on both sides of this wall, but now that the one Zealot is so low, a little bit of a mistake there from Tosco losing that last Marine, but now that the Zealots are so low, she is just going to back off. She's done a reasonable amount of damage, though, forcing a lot of SCVs off the line, killing like 2-3 Marines in this fight. I think this is reasonable damage for Bohai. It's not gotten out of control. Tosco has managed to stabilize, but that was some reasonably good damage out of Bohai. And keeping both... loses a probe, but keeping both the Zealots alive is pretty darn good here. Yeah. She has to kill her own pylon. No.
I wanted to say the entire time you were talking, by the way, Bohai's like walled in her own dragoons. I noticed that. While you were talking, I noticed that the pylon was next to the dude then. I was like, it's just to kill that pylon. It's a bit unfortunate. Oh, and the vulture's coming round.
That is truly unfortunate. The dragoon's supposed to be in the wall. What? Tosco turns around.
I think... Okay, that actually makes sense. No, it makes sense, because Tosco knows she needs guaranteed value from this vulture. She needs the mines to lay behind these vultures, to lay it behind these units, and she may need the vulture to defend, potentially. But having the mines out on the map with this vulture is more valuable than killing 2 or 3 probes and then losing the vulture without laying any mines. So Tosco is actually really smart. She understands that the real value is in these mines.
I thought that she was going to get in there and get way more probes than that, but maybe you're right. We're going to be throwing down mines here now. She wants to get that value from the vulture, dropping mines here at the 3rd, but there's the dragoon again. It's managed to spot this vulture, and the vulture's already taken that early damage, so it almost gets picked off here. Doesn't have very much HP. It's going to have to run towards home and just put some mines out in the middle of the map rather than on the expansions here, like what you wanted to do earlier. Yeah, Dragoon's just in every location right now, not allowing these vultures to get those really critical scouting mines to find out when the 3rd base is going to come up. Bohai just blocking all of that. She actually should throw another Dragoon over towards that 3rd base just to make sure that a vulture doesn't get in there and throw down that mine, because it seems like Tosco's going the long way around. Oh no, that's not a vulture. I thought that was actually a vulture heading around to get that 3rd base mine. Yeah, she's managed to stop Tosco from getting a mine in that location. That's really good for her. But now Telescope going to do a little bit of a push here. What do you think about this? How is Bohai going to hold on? She's only got one gate here to deal with this.
Yeah, she actually doesn't have a lot to deal with this. So, and with the Dragoons all split up, this one Dragoon at the 6 o'clock is going to take a little bit of damage. Not too much, though, fortunately. It's a shame that Tosco wasn't really careful with her micro.
Two gates.
Yeah, if Tosco was a little bit more on top of the micro there, she could have shredded the HP of that Dragoon up with the Vulture in chase, but wasn't like really trying to micro at all, just kind of like attack moved. But we see a star pot being made in the top right for Tosco, so maybe going to be going for some kind of a drop play here. Might be interesting to see. Would like to see her do something in this game, because so far it kind of seems like Bohai's got a really good read on Tosco, and not maybe that comes from just so much experience of how Tosco plays, but also maybe like a little bit of coaching from the pros, how that they've studied Tosco play and they've seen her play for so long. She's been in the scene for such a long time, saying that maybe like now some people are starting to figure Tosco out and kind of think of ways of like countering and metagaming her style a little bit.
Tosco really is the flash of the ladies scene. She's been dominant for an incredible amount of time. She's just been around forever. She's, of course, she used to play Protoss. That's why her name is Toss Girl, but has switched. She switched over to Terran a long time ago. And yeah, she's been crushing in the ladies scene for a ridiculous amount of time. Bohai has been one of her main competitors. So these two have faced off in many finals and many semifinals as well in the ladies ASL. So, Bohai could definitely get some value out of a bit of coaching from these other pro players and kind of break the cycle here, break the mold of the Toss Girl domination. That might be the key, just getting some outside help. Now has Reaver here, ready to go, has the third base coming online, does need to throw down some cannons in this location to defend, hasn't a probe over in that location at the moment. Toss Girl readying up for a drop here. A lot of vultures being thrown into that drop, but we've got Dragoons all over this right-hand side of the map. Let's see if Bohai can actually catch this and shut down this drop play. I think she may be able to. The drop's going to come in right now, but there's Dragoons already here in position. It looks like she's going to lose quite a few probes. Does have to pull back and away. And the Vultures are going to try and make a run around, go for the probes here as they're running. No, she does shut that down. More Dragoons being sent into the main here. There's only 2 Vultures left. She's going to target down the dropship, it looks like, and just pull her probes. I think this has been a pretty good handling of the situation by Bohai. The Reaver's here as well, but doesn't have... Oh, we're getting some lag. Oh, that's unfortunate. This is an online tournament, so we are getting a bit of lag here. But I think overall a pretty decent cleaning of this Vulture drop by Bohai. Oh, still a Vulture here doing a bit more damage. Does need to get to that and clean it up, and there you go. She will finish that off. Not the greatest drop here by Toss Girl. Did a little bit of damage, but pretty good hold there by Bohai.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good hold. It is pretty significant damage by Tosco, though. I would say like enough lost mining time as well. The amount of duration of the pros being pulled around with the additional pros being killed for Vulture investment. I'd say it's pretty successful for Tosco. At least the one thing I would say that is going really well for Bohai though is that she's had this observer kind of tucked inside Tosco's base for a long time. She's got a really good read on what Tosco's doing right now, so she's gonna be able to line up herself very nicely as well, and that's gonna be able to keep her in line with the economic curve of this game and optimize when she's making pros, when she's making units, and when she's teching. And now she's going to be very optimized against Tosco, and even though Tosco's done a lot of damage and has gotten herself in a nice position, we now see Reavers coming into the main base, putting a lot of pressure, trying to target down this armory. The armories are split, so the one in the main base is being target fired down by Bohai here. Sees a little bit of a weakness, and she's going to be trying to shuffle down these Reavers to the bottom side, out of range of this other tank, and maybe losing this armory. Saying this is going to be huge snipe for Bohai, taking out this upgrade and really shutting down. I really hope that wasn't the weapons upgrade, because if that was, that's going to be painful for Tosco.
Ooh, man, I definitely agree with you there. Had that been, or if that is the weapons upgrade, and I don't see a second armory anywhere, I think you're on the money. That is the weapons upgrade. So slowing that down at all super, super painful for a Terran player. A great drop there, but I think really that comes down to the positioning of Tosco, right? She moved a tank forward, the one here just to the north, and it wasn't in range of the Reavers in order to stop them from attacking. So making a bit of a mistake there with the tank positioning, ends up losing that armory. She also didn't pull a bunch of SCVs to try and keep that alive, not wanting to lose too many SCVs there. She only pulled one, so you know, that's on her. And now Bohai in a great spot here. Looks like actually this Dragoon can't get out, so might have to even kill a one of her own buildings here in the main just to fix the rallying here out of these gateways. But things are looking very, very clean so far for Bohai. She's in a great advantage right now.
Yeah,
oh, she killed her own cannon.
Yeah, she killed her own cannon. Maybe to make space, I guess. I don't know. So she probably get back there, and I don't know. I'm going to try and make sense of that one. I'm not too sure. But taking a siege tank shot on these Reavers needs to be a little bit careful. Actually, don't just throw down your Reavers like that without paying attention to the ranges, because yeah, you take a lot of unnecessary damage on these Reavers thus far, and Tosco's going to be snaking her way up here along this vertical line to take this 9 o'clock position now, and she'll also want to consider maybe splitting them out vertically as time progresses. And if she can make this go into a super late game, that will favor Tosco, but there's this big gaping hole in the center of the map that's going to be a little bit of a problem to deal with for the time being. So I feel like, yeah, super long game is in mind for Tosco right now.
Tosco taking the center left very cleanly. And moving up onto that high ground against two Reavers is not easy, but Tosco making it look very, very smooth here. Has that position on the high ground. A lot of mines ready for a bust through. Double robotics facility here. Bohai is just going to be battling here against Tosco, dropping zealots on top of everything and trying to bust these tank lines. She is going to be throwing down a fourth base down at 6 o'clock, but really she wants to try and take a fight here, dropping a ton of zealots and possibly Reavers here as well on the high ground. Here comes these Reavers, going to be dropped and start to hit the tanks here. Oh, she's only got one Reaver, that's right. Lost a Reaver earlier, and looks like the zealots have all been mopped up on the low ground. I don't think that Bohai can get through here, although there's just one tank left. The reinforcements should be able to come up and clear this. Tallest Girl bringing up her vultures and tanks now. Will have to lift off temporarily, but I think she's going to be able to hold overall.
Yeah, I mean, so far she's stabilizing quite nicely. The supplies look reasonable. She's definitely in a good spot right now. She is struggling to completely secure this 9 o'clock. Like, there is still a little bit of pressure from this Reaver. She needs to come up here and establish some kind of anti-air so that her tanks can't just keep getting abused over and over again. But I feel like she has enough units, and she can keep a good spread that she doesn't have to really worry about too many further counterattacks. So yeah, I think she's kind of weathered the storm with +2 on the way, and she's still going to be in a pretty formidable position. She did lose that armor upgrade earlier on. Was very smart in making the weapons upgrade in the natural armory and the armor in the main base. So if something like that happened, I wonder if she actually thought about that, like the potential of that armory being sniped for that reason, then made that weapons upgrade the natural expansion. If so, that's very good foresight.
So she did have an armory in the natural. Hey, well, yes, that's good. +2 is now done. +1 armor is there as well. It wasn't as bad as we thought. That snipe of the armory there in the main, and a big kind of attack here going to happen into the main. The ghetto recall here with the 3 shuttles going to be sent in. There's a lot of defense here though for Tosco. Has she found a hole though? Bohai going to fly right in here, dropping a ton of zealots on top of all of this. Looks like that mine did connect on the Reaver. 11 kill Reaver finally does go down here in the main. We have High Templar, but there's nothing here to storm anymore. She's going to go for the natural now. She's got one more storm to throw out. Gets a few more SCVs, but it looks like she won't be getting much more than this. She's really trying, though, to limit the economy here of Toss Girl. Toss Girl being very, very diligent at pulling the SCVs, though, and not taking too much damage. Whoa, 4 kills, 5 kills on this Zealot, getting more damage than the actual storm itself, kind of funnily enough.
Yeah, Bohai actually doing a lot to frustrate Tosco here, and I really do see a lot of good schools of thought with the way Bohai is playing. It seems to be more of an execution issue that she's having. She definitely has all the right ideas, and she's going about it in a way that definitely is causing a lot of problems for Tosco. But I think she's having a little bit of issue with the execution, and Tosco's just so good mechanically that to overcome her in the mechanics game just feels like such an insurmountable mountain to climb. But Bohai definitely doing a really good job of showing that that's a possibility, and maybe with a little bit more practice and a little bit more coaching, she could maybe start to topple the champion. Who knows?
Yeah, Toss Girl here, the champion, going to be upgrading into +3 soon. Has that 140 supply, not ready to push out just yet, but she will be very, very soon, and we're going to see her mechanics at work here. The mid and late game army movements here from Toss Girl are just so good, and this push is going to be very, very hard to stop. But if Bohai manages to stop this first push out and reset the tank count, she'll be in a great position to win this game. If Toss Girl comes out and destroys this army of Bohai, it's going to be downhill from there. Toss Girl here sitting in a defensive position. Is Bohai just going to run in? Oh my goodness, she's just going to go for it.
Wow, just going to bulldog on top of the tanks with these speed shuttles. Going to be dropping all of these zealots and huge storms on the tanks to boot as well, catching some of the retreating SCVs as well. Look at this, not even a complete wall in, so zealots are going to be streamlining in while the Dragoons hammer on the wall as well. Getting good surface area on some of these vultures. Not quite able to finish off enough of them quick enough. Taking a long time to get the reinforcements up this ramp though. It took a long time to target fire down those depots, and now struggling to come up onto this ramp to force a good fight against these tanks. So Tosco looks like she can hold on and just force a retreat now from Bohai, but for a moment that looked a little bit scary for Tosco, but so far a beautiful hold from Tosco, going to be preventing any kind of disastrous damage being dealt to her.
Yeah, that was scary for a moment for sure. Bohai got up there, she got the drops in, she got the storm down, but great micro from Toss Girl and really calm play from her as well, just making sure all the units got up that ramp cleanly. Not taking too much storm damage there, microing the tank back, just drawing the zealots around. It's too bad that she didn't have the full wall with the supply depots, but she made the best out of a difficult situation. And now, with this tank count not having been reduced much, she's going to be able to push down here towards 6 o'clock. I don't know if there's much that Bohai can actually do to stop this.
No, I think basically it's going to be like a slow down game from Bohai. She knows she's probably going to evacuate the 6 o'clock. It's going to be sniped no matter what, but she might be able to take a few tanks down with the effort of Tosco here. Making so many High Templars is Bohai. I think Bohai's identified the game state. She knows it's going to be a super late game potentially, and she needs to just make so many cost-efficient caster units that she can just like whittle down the Terran armor so the upgrades do not matter. Look at these beautiful storms that we see coming from the high ground again and again from Bohai, trying to take advantage of just having so many caster units. But so far Tosco has done a really great job of just macroing up a big powerful army, and she's really good at being fluid with her unit control, so she can come down into these positions and just overwhelm them very quickly. And a lot of Terran players are very slow in doing those kinds of things, but the likes of Tosco, one of the best at it, especially amongst the females. So like so far she's making like short work of coming into the 6 o'clock position and kind of forcing a fight with Bohai, and Bohai maybe going to be in a little bit of a deficit coming in here over and over again and just trading these units off not efficiently. Beautiful storm going to be connecting with those siege tanks, but I still feel like Tosco's getting the better of her, Sam.
Yeah, Toss Girl's getting in there. She's gonna kill the 6 o'clock base. Bohai not pulling the probes. I really feel like this is a late game play from Bohai. She's trying to suck up as many minerals as she possibly can from that 6 o'clock. She knows that's going to be Toss Girl's next base, so every mineral she manages to grab is another mineral that Toss Girl's not going to have. Taking the food out of Toss Girl's mouth here right now are these probes, and now she's going to come in with a big attack. Toss Girl is unsieged, so does get in very close, throwing down the storms here on a lot of these tanks. Great storms there, hitting a bunch of those unsieged tanks as well, trading off quite a few for a little here. Bohai, a great trade, backing off once again as soon as all the zealots are gone. That was a nice move, and now she's going to try and take the top left as well. Toss Girl here will have to grab that 6 o'clock as quickly as possible and start to move out on the map, take the center.
Yeah, and she now has the supply that she needs to do this, and she's currently actually dwarfing Bohai's chances in the army situation. Going to be maybe sniping some of these high templars as well. Beautiful execution from Tosco, taking full advantage of the situation, splitting the army in half, and now forcing the threshold of units to the north, so that now she can just come over to the right-hand side of the map and just completely contain this rally point. And not yet Bohai is set up in the northeast quadrant. There is a 4 gateway count here, starting to pump out some units, but there's not a huge force of units out on the map to really challenge Tosco. Now going to be coming into natural expansion as well, trying to challenge at the rally point here, sniping some of the caster units, trying to prevent too much power being able to be leveraged against her by the use of like storm drops and stuff, because the only thing that can really damage her right now is really beautiful storm drops on these bases to try and kill her economy. And if that happened, maybe there'd be a chance here for Bohai to win, but she's going to be coming into the 9th position anyway, trying to smash down the doors and drag some mines into tanks. Does be able to do some beautiful storm on the SCVs, but not quite killing the amount that she needs to come back in this game. There's another good storm there, though. That's a much better one. Going to be reducing the SCV count a little bit, but it's not quite enough to completely kill the economy of Tosco like she needs to come back in this game. She does have 5 bases currently operational, but Tosco has a great position on the map, and she's still threatening a kind of checkmate scenario here.
Ooh, Tosco taking the middle. Not what I expected, but I guess it's a good move here. When you're holding the middle with your army, might as well take that base. Coming out to snipe some observers here, making it hard for Bohai to crack this position. Bohai really does need to get in here, or get out here on the map by breaking through the middle. Has some gateways up in the top right, so that'll help to break this middle here. If she's coming from multiple angles, it's going to be a lot easier than just trying to punch through one location. She's really opening things up here by getting rid of these pylons as well. Now she can move army around this spot, go up to the top right, and come through from a different angle, which Tosco is not going to be fully ready for. Maybe she can hit these tanks from behind and really break open this position.
Yeah, I think this is kind of looking like more and more of a Tosco's victory here, saying it's going to be so hard for Bohai to kind of navigate her way in the next like 5 or so minutes, I think. Tosco, I think taking this middle base really does make sense as well, because she doesn't have to weaken her position by risking taking another base and opening herself up for counterattack. She knows she's got such a strong standing army. She needs to control the center, and she's able to do that. So why not just take the center base to kind of give a little bit more of influx of minerals to squeeze out a few extra vultures to come out on raids here. Like the minerals that she's mining in the middle are like allowing her to afford these big packs of vultures, which are currently controlling the map and kind of like keeping the threat at bay and really kind of running containment on Bohai.
Here we go, coming through the middle now. Bohai going to hit this army from behind. Kind of a weak spot has been found here on Tosco. She cannot keep this command center in this position in the current game state. She will have to float away, but I guess she's not going to be able to commit here fully to taking out tanks. The tank line a little bit too strong back here. Going to drop some zealots on top. Just draw some fire from these tanks. Picking off a few tanks here is always good. Just with trading out a single zealot at a time. I guess the Goliaths are nowhere near this army. Does lose some free dragoons though on the backside. Bohai dropping way down in supply now. Toss Girl here dominating this matchup. And yeah, it's looking more and more like a Toss Girl win. She's moving towards the top right of the map, and there's just nothing over there to defend. Oh, really moving forward here as well. Gonna get on top of the rallies. There we go. Starting to hit the base in the top right. Bohai on the ropes at the moment.
Yeah, going to be taking down these cannons with just a single tank, but it looks like putting a little bit of pressure as she shuffles forward and going to be opening up this position to containment and counterattack. There will be some zealots to clean this up, so I don't think she'll be able to kill this base yet for some time, but she will start to come in with some vultures and pressure this location more and more. Really, Bohai will need High Templars to come in. Yeah, here's the High Templars to storm the vultures. High Templars are basically the only thing that will have any chance of defending this base right now, so we'll see a lot of High Templars desperately coming out of these gateways in the top right base as well, trying to hold on at any cost they can, because like there's no way that she can keep fighting this army head on without being at deficit. See, we see more and more High Templars have been banked up, as we can see. She knows that she needs Storms to win this game, but she's kind of doubling up her Storms there a little bit uncharacteristically, making a little bit of a mistake there, double storming. But it doesn't matter. She's doing what she can to try and come back in this game. I just don't think it's going to be enough, saying. I think slowly but surely, Tosco's going to squeeze a win out of her. But there is some chance here of breaking open this center position a little bit if she comes in from the east to north with the rally point in the southeast. She's starting to clear some of the mines here, but she's a little bit scared and timid to come into that position. But if she was a little bit more confident and came into the eastern side, she could kind of drive a wedge between the reinforcement line of this northeast quadrant of the map and then kind of pincer maneuver the army on the bridge at the north. But then that would require her being a little bit more brave and coming out here.
She is going to come out here now, finding that bravery within herself, dropping storms on top of these tanks. Dragoons are shoving forward, but the Zealot number has withered and died here. Bohai still pushing forward. Reinforcements coming up for Toss-Girl are going to be able to clean up the majority of this army. Bohai is just running out of steam here, although totally mined out is Toss-Girl in her main and natural. Only her third base and this location are mining right now with only 3 SCVs. There's really not a lot of income right now for Toss-Girl. There's the rest of the SCVs finally being sent forward to really saturate this base, but there's not many mineral patches here. The middle base is really like a band-aid solution. It's not going to last for long. She does need to get another base eventually. If Bohai continues to hold on, that's going to become a problem for Toss-Girl soon.
Yeah, but Bohai in a similar position, though, only has 1 mining base currently. That third mined out pretty quickly with the early taking of it and high saturation. So now currently only on 1 mining base until this top right natural can be secured. Some vultures putting a little bit of pressure, cleaning up some of those zealots for free as well. I think right now, I think Bohai can stabilize in this game. It's just that she needs to be double expanding right now. She doesn't even have the influx of minerals to throw down these Nexi to keep her potential advantage from growing. She needs to kind of snowball out of control right now, and she's not able to do so. And now we see Toss-Girl finally able to afford more bases of her own in the top left quadrant of the map as well, wants to split this map vertically, and after mining out quite a lot from the middle, she's still got a little bit of steam left in her sails to keep going here. I think she can still take this game from Bohai quite confidently, but Bohai's trying to make a game of it and trying to see if there's any way of outpositioning and outmaneuvering Tosco in this game here, being a little bit annoying with these shells running around the map, trying to get any tanks that she can with some zealot bombs and storm drops. And some plays are actually going pretty well for her. She's getting 1 tank here, 1 tank there for a few zealots. She's doing what she can with a little, and she's so far doing a pretty good job of finding some kind of value.
Yeah, this is a scrappy situation, but Bohai keeping her head on straight. Has that top right natural mining now. Going to be sending the probes over there. Transfer is complete. No mining in the top left just yet for Tosco, but that's going to come online soon. It'll really be up to Bohai to spot that out and send a storm drop to really shut down that base. There's no turrets up in that location just yet, so it is vulnerable for the time being, and she does have a lot of Templar, but as soon as Toss-Girl gets that mining online and has that base well defended, this is going to get really hard for Bohai. You cannot allow a split map situation on this map here, Retro. You're going to end up losing in the long game here to a Terran who's holding the middle of the map.
You hit the nail on the head, saying right now the absolute apex play for Bohai is going for a storm drop at the top left natural, and that'd be an absolute game-ending move right now. But going to be running out to the middle of the map instead, just full-on charge here, pure ape mode. Just get the zealots in if you can. Move command on top of the tanks. Not able to really get many good connections though. Most of the zealots dried up already, despite a very small zealot vulture count. Finally, some storms being connecting with these tanks in quick order, but not really many going down. Unfortunately, only a few Dragoons remaining for Bohai. Not really the fight she was really looking for there. I feel like she should have taken this a little bit more slow and instead try and push for expanding to the 12 o'clock while storm dropping Tosco over and over again and just trying to reduce the economy of the Terran player, but still going to be trying to desperately come out to the southern threshold of the center of the map to see if she can overwhelm some of these Terran positions with some desperate plays, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Some storms do connect with these tanks coming from the northern side though, but I still don't think this is going to be enough for her, Saiyan.
I think this is a miscalculation here for Bohai. I really believe that she thinks that this is the only mining base right now for Toss Girl, that Toss Girl has all her eggs in this center base basket, whereas, you know, in reality, that top left base has no defense. There's nothing up there defending except for, I think, one turret. Had she found out about that base and actually sent a storm drop, as we said, to that location to shut that down, I think she could have won this. Look at how desperately she's trying to shut down the center. She has no idea that this is mining right now and that Toss Girl's ahead of her on economy.
I hope so. I hope that's the reason why she's making this play, because that would make total sense. It'd be a shame if she knew about the base and was still making this play, because, yeah, it would be so simple just to go for a storm drop here. But she's going to find the base now, saying, here comes the observer. Now she's going to realize it. She's probably going to be scratching her head and a little bit frustrated, but it is what it is. That's a tough nut to swallow, Sam, but she's going to have to do so.
Yeah. I thought she might just tap out when she saw that, because that was the gambit here, was breaking the center, killing off that final mining base of Toss Girl. That was supposed to win the game here, I think, for Bohai. But now that she's found out that there's another base here out on the map, the sand is running out of the hourglass. The time is just about up here for Bohai. Toss Girl is pushing forward. She's shoving all of this back. And guys, if you want to learn this matchup better, just watch the way that Toss Girl maneuvers her vultures in each of these fights. It's been incredibly impressive. The way that she's constantly just microing back and forth. She's letting the tanks do their job and keeping the vultures alive to keep on raining down damage on the zealots. You can just see how quickly in every fight she's able to get rid of all the zealots, and then the dragoons get cleaned up by the tanks. It's really been impressive, and now she's going to add another base here to the top left that's floated out, I think, from the main or natural, and been sent up there to the top left. And Bohai just not really mining anymore. She's about to mine out in the top right. She's going to try and retake this natural for a third time, but Toss Girl here moving towards this position.